Have you ever woken up in the quiet early hours of the morning feeling a strange, heavy pressure in your head? Or perhaps as you slowly sat up and swung your legs over the edge of the bed, you felt a sudden, disorienting wave of dizziness that forced you to grip the edge of the mattress until the room finally stopped spinning. Maybe you've noticed a persistent stiffness in your neck that seems to linger for hours after you've gotten up, or a dull, throbbing headache that greets you before you've even had your first cup of coffee. Many of us, in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, are quick to blame these sensations on a bad mattress, an old pillow, or simply the unavoidable aches and pains of getting older. But as a specialist who has spent decades looking at how the body ages, I want to share a very important, perhaps life-saving warning with you today. I'm Dr. Adrian Keller, and in today's video, we're talking about a topic that is almost never discussed in the doctor's office, yet it is arguably one of the most critical factors for your long-term independence. We are going to explore how the way you are sleeping might be putting a dangerous, silent strain on the circulation to your brain. Those morning symptoms, the dizziness, the headaches, the fogginess, may not just be about comfort. They could be a definitive sign that your sleeping posture is restricting the vital, oxygen-rich blood flow your brain needs to thrive. Throughout my career as a senior health specialist here in the heart of Switzerland, I have worked with thousands of seniors to help them maintain their strength, their independence, and most importantly, their cardiovascular and brain health. When we talk about preventing a stroke or maintaining cognitive sharpness, we almost always focus on the same things: the food we put on our plates, the medications we take for our blood pressure, our cholesterol levels, or how many steps we get in during our morning walk. These are all vital, and I discuss them often. However, there is one area that is frequently overlooked by both patients and doctors alike, and that is what happens during the 7 or 8 hours we spend in bed every single night. The position in which you rest your head and neck can have a profound, lasting impact on how freely blood flows to your brain. Today, we're going to explore why your sleeping posture matters more now than it ever did in your younger years, and I'm going to reveal the specific, common position that many cardiologists and neurologists worry about most for adults over the age of 60. We are going to break down the anatomy of your neck, discuss how to transform your bedroom into a sanctuary for vascular health, and provide you with actionable steps to ensure your brain gets the oxygen it deserves all night long. To understand why your sleeping position is so critical for your brain health, we first need to look at the intricate plumbing of the human neck. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine your neck as a busy, critical corridor through which 4 major highways run. 2 of these highways are the carotid arteries, which you can feel pulsing on either side of your windpipe. These are the large pipes that carry the majority of the blood to the front and middle parts of your brain, the areas responsible for memory, speech, and complex thought. But there are also 2 other, slightly smaller highways called the vertebral arteries. These are remarkable because they actually thread through the small, protective, bony loops of your neck vertebrae. They carry blood to the back of the brain, the cerebellum and the brainstem, the parts of the brain that control your balance, your coordination, your vision, and your basic life functions like breathing and heart rate. When you are young, your blood vessels are like brand new, highly flexible, high-quality rubber hoses. You can twist them, bend them, or put pressure on them, and the water inside continues to flow without much trouble. But as we cross the threshold of 60, our hoses begin to change. They become a bit stiffer, the walls thicken, and many of us develop a small amount of plaque or narrowing within these vessels, a process we call atherosclerosis. Because the vessels are less flexible and perhaps a bit narrower, they become much more sensitive to mechanical pressure. When you sleep in a position that keeps your neck in an extreme twist or a sharp angle for hours at a time, you are essentially kinking the hose. For a younger person, the body can compensate easily, but for a senior, that kink can significantly reduce the amount of oxygen-rich blood reaching the brain during the night. So, let us talk about the position that causes the most concern. The position that many specialists warn against, particularly for those with existing circulation issues, is sleeping on your stomach with your head turned sharply to one side. Think about the mechanics of this position for a moment. To breathe while lying on your stomach, you have no choice but to rotate your neck nearly 90 degrees to the left or to the right. You then hold that extreme, unnatural rotation for hours while you are in a deep sleep. When you turn your head that far, you are putting a significant, sustained amount of physical stress on those vertebral arteries I mentioned earlier. On the side you are turning toward, the artery can become compressed by the joints of the neck. On the opposite side, the artery is being stretched and pulled tight, like a rope under tension. If you already have some stiffness in your neck or some narrowing in those vessels, this twist and compress action can slow the blood flow to the back of your brain to a trickle. This is why some people wake up feeling dizzy, lightheaded, or foggy. Their brain spent the last several hours struggling to get the full amount of oxygen it requires. Over time, this chronic reduction in blood flow, combined with the way blood pressure can fluctuate during sleep, may increase the risk of a mini stroke or even a major stroke. Another concern with stomach sleeping, and even certain ways of sleeping on your back, is how it affects your breathing and your blood pressure. When you sleep on your stomach, your rib cage has to work harder against the weight of your own body to expand and take in air. For a senior whose lungs and heart may already be working a bit harder, this extra effort can cause a subtle but persistent rise in blood pressure during the night. We want our blood pressure to dip or lower while we sleep to give our heart and brain a necessary rest. If your sleeping position keeps your body in a state of physical stress, that healthy dip doesn't happen, which is a known significant risk factor for cardiovascular events. You might be wondering, why is this only becoming a problem now? I've slept this way my whole life. It is a fair question. The truth is that the aging body is far less forgiving than the younger body. Beyond the stiffening of the arteries we discussed, there are several other factors at play once you pass 60. One of them is the gradual loss of muscle support in the neck. The muscles that used to hold our spine in perfect neutral alignment are not as strong as they once were. This allows the neck to sag or twist into more extreme unsupported angles during sleep. Additionally, many seniors experience changes in their baroreceptors. These are the tiny miraculous sensors in your neck that tell your heart how hard to pump based on the position of your head. If these sensors are compressed or confused by a poor sleeping position, your body might not adjust your blood pressure correctly when you shift or wake up, leading to that sudden, alarming dizziness when you sit up in bed. We also have to consider the circle of Willis. This is a beautiful, ring-like structure of blood vessels at the base of your brain that acts as a backup system. If one artery is blocked, the others are supposed to pick up the slack. However, as we age, this backup system can become less efficient. If you kink one of the main supply lines with a poor sleeping position, the backup system might not be able to fill the gap as well as it used to. I want you to become a detective and look for the warning signs that your sleeping position might be affecting your circulation. The first sign, as we mentioned, is waking up with the sense of dizziness or vertigo. that lasts for more than a few seconds. Another common sign is waking up with a headache that is specifically located at the base of your skull or across the back of your head. This often indicates that the blood flow to the posterior, or back, part of the brain was restricted during the night. You should also pay attention to your arms and hands. If you frequently wake up with pins and needles or a completely numb arm, it is a sign that a nerve or a blood vessel is being compressed. While this is often just a pinched nerve in the shoulder, it is a clear indicator that your overall sleeping alignment is putting unnecessary pressure on your body's wiring and plumbing. Finally, look at your quality of rest. If you wake up feeling exhausted, even after 8 hours in bed, or if your spouse tells you that you seem to be gasping for air or snoring loudly, your sleeping position may be contributing to sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a condition where you stop breathing for short periods, causing your oxygen levels to plummet and your stroke risk to skyrocket. So, what is the safest way to sleep to protect your brain and your blood vessels? For most seniors, the gold standard is sleeping on your side. Side sleeping, when done correctly, helps keep the airway open, which reduces the risk of sleep apnea. It also allows the neck to remain in a neutral position, meaning it isn't twisted to the left or right, and it isn't tilted too far up or down. However, there is a right way and a wrong way to sleep on your side. To truly support your circulation, you need a pillow that is the exact height of the distance between your ear and the tip of your shoulder. If the pillow is too thin, your head will tilt down toward the mattress, straining the vessels on one side of your neck. If the pillow is too thick, it will push your head up, compressing the vessels on the other side. You want your nose to be perfectly aligned with the center of your chest. I also highly recommend placing a small, firm pillow between your knees. This helps keep your hips and your lower spine aligned, which prevents your body from slowly twisting into a semi-stomach position during the night. For those who find side sleeping uncomfortable, sleeping on your back can be a safe alternative, provided you do not have severe sleep apnea. If you sleep on your back, you must ensure that your head is not propped up too high by multiple pillows. When your chin is pushed down toward your chest, it can partially obstruct your airway and put pressure on the carotid arteries in the front of your neck. A single, supportive pillow that cradles the natural curve of your neck is best. Some people find that using a wedge pillow to slightly elevate the entire upper body, not just the head, can improve circulation and make breathing much easier. Improving your nighttime circulation isn't just about your posture. It's also about the habits you practice before you even climb into bed. One of the most important things you can do for your blood flow is to stay hydrated throughout the day. I know that many seniors try to stop drinking water in the evening to avoid frequent trips to the bathroom, and I understand that. But if you are chronically dehydrated, your blood becomes stickier and thicker. Thick blood is much harder to pump through those small, stiff arteries in your neck, especially when you are lying flat. Try to get most of your water in during the morning and afternoon, but don't go to bed completely parched. I also want you to be mindful of what you eat in the hours before sleep. A very heavy, salty meal late at night can cause your blood pressure to spike just as you are trying to rest. High salt intake makes your body hold onto water, which increases the pressure in your vessels. This extra pressure, combined with a twisted neck position, is a recipe for cardiovascular stress. Instead, opt for a light evening meal and give your body at least 3 hours to digest before you lie down. Finally, consider a very gentle neck stretching routine before bed. You don't need to do anything intense, just slowly and gently, tilting your head from side to side and reaching your ear toward your shoulder, can help release the tension in the muscles that surround your arteries. When those muscles are relaxed, they are less likely to cramp or pull your spine out of alignment while you are unconscious. But let's go even further into the detective work. I want you to evaluate your sleep sanctuary. Is your mattress providing enough support? A mattress that is too soft will cause your spine to sag, which forces your neck into an unnatural tilt regardless of your position. I recommend a mattress that offers firm support for the spine. Additionally, look at your pillow material. Memory foam is wonderful because it contours to the neck's natural curve, providing consistent support that prevents the head from rolling into that dangerous stomach sleeping twist. And what about the room itself? The temperature of your bedroom plays a massive role in your vascular health. If your room is too cold, your body naturally constricts your blood vessels to conserve heat, which increases your blood pressure. If your room is too hot, your heart has to work overtime to cool you down, which can also raise your blood pressure during the night. Keep your bedroom at a moderate, comfortable temperature, somewhere around 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, to ensure your vessels remain relaxed. And light? Light exposure, even a small amount, suppresses melatonin, the hormone that helps you enter deep restorative sleep. Use blackout curtains to ensure your body is fully at rest. And let's address the psychological aspect of all this. I know many of you suffer from sleep anxiety. You lie awake worrying about your health, your family, or your finances. That stress triggers the release of cortisol, a hormone that narrows your blood vessels and increases your heart rate. This makes it even harder for your blood to flow freely to your brain. This is why I emphasize that your bedroom must be a place of absolute peace. Before you get into bed, try a simple 5-minute meditation. Close your eyes, focus on the rhythm of your breath, and consciously relax the muscles in your jaw, your neck, and your shoulders. By entering sleep in a relaxed state, you ensure your blood vessels are as wide and clear as possible for the night ahead. Furthermore, we must discuss the baroreceptor reflex. As you wake up, your body needs to quickly recalibrate its blood pressure. If you have been lying in a position that compressed your neck sensors, this reflex may be sluggish. This is exactly why I advise my patients to follow the 3-step morning rule. First, sit up on the edge of the bed and stay there for 30 seconds. This allows your cardiovascular system to adjust to the gravity change. Second, move your feet and ankles for another 30 seconds to help pump the blood upward. Third, stand up slowly while holding onto a stable piece of furniture. These simple steps can prevent that sudden, dangerous fall that so many seniors experience in the morning. I know that changing a lifelong sleeping habit can feel like a daunting task. We all have that one position where we feel the most at home. But I want you to remember that your body is a dynamic living system that is constantly adapting. Even if you have slept on your stomach for 50 years, your brain and your blood vessels will thank you for making the switch to a more supportive position today. It is not about being perfect from night one. It is about being aware. If you wake up on your stomach, don't be discouraged. Just gently roll onto your side, adjust your pillows, and try again. By making these small adjustments, you are doing so much more than just avoiding a stiff neck. You are actively protecting the delicate, miraculous tissues of your brain. You are ensuring that every cell in your head receives the oxygen it needs to keep your memory sharp, your balance steady, and your mood bright. You are taking control of your health in a way that happens while you are literally dreaming. That is a powerful form of medicine. Before we conclude today, I would truly love to hear from you. We have such a wonderful, wise community here, and your experiences help everyone who watches these videos. Please take a moment to go down to the comments and tell me your age and where you are watching from today. I'm also very curious. What is your natural sleeping position? Have you ever noticed that feeling of dizziness or a morning headache that we talked about? Sharing these details helps us all realize that we aren't alone in these challenges, and your story might be the very thing that encourages someone else to make a healthy change tonight. Remember, your independence is built on a foundation of good habits. From the water you drink to the way you rest your head at night, every choice you make is an investment in your future self. You have worked hard to reach this stage of life, and you deserve to enjoy it with a clear mind and a strong body. Stay mindful of your posture, cherish your sleep, and keep looking after that brilliant brain of yours. I am Dr. Adrian Keller, and it has been a privilege to share this time with you. I look forward to seeing you again in our next conversation. Until then, sleep well, breathe deeply, and stay healthy.